There will come a time in your career, hopefully, when you will be table cast, which simply means that as far as producers are concerned, you have become the go-to person when it comes to specific roles, or you're only ever invited to private readings, i.e., you're invited to come and read alone before a panel. This is a courtesy that is extended to an actor after many, many years of meritorious service. Until then, and certainly at the very beginning of your career, there will be mass auditions, otherwise known as cattle calls. Auditions are conducted in several ways. It will either be scripted or you'll be required to improvise. You can be auditioned alone or paired with someone else. Sometimes you may even be put in a group. And now with technology, you don't even have to be physically present. Nowadays, people are asked to send in their auditions via video recording. The sole purpose of an audition is to find the actor that best suits the role in terms of how they look, sound, and depending on the story, how they relate to the other characters. Now, depending on who's calling it, an audition can attract upwards of hundreds of people at any one given time. So the question is, how do I stand out in the midst of all these people? The secret is in paying attention to the tiny details and preparation. I repeat, preparation is key. If the audition is scripted, and better yet, you're sent this script ahead of the audition date, you're in luck. You know exactly what is required and you have ample time to prepare. If you're truly blessed and you're sent a character Bible alongside the script, then you're truly made. This is a document that contains all the information about the character: looks, sound, and backstory. But here's the thing. If a producer does send you a character Bible alongside the audition sites, it means they are looking for something or someone specific. So here's what to do. First of all, read the character Bible. Who is this person you are being requested to play? For instance, if the character is described as a well-spoken middle-aged woman of wealth, you know that you're not going to do your audition in pidgin or say that instead of that. You will not get the role. Pay attention to the details. What stands out to you? Is there a detailed description of how the character looks or dresses? If it's there for a reason. So here's what I've been known to do. That year, I got a call from one of Nigeria's foremost casting directors. They were looking to cast a woman of a particular age for an international production. Alongside the script, I was also sent a character Bible, and this character Bible was so detailed. It described this woman in such vivid details down to the tattoo on the left-hand side of her chest. So what did I do? I got a makeup artist to make me up the way I envisioned her, and also went the extra mile of etching that same tattoo on my chest. I studied the lines, got my PA at the time to be my co-actor, did this audition. A week later, I got a call back saying that they were so impressed by my attention to detail. I was on a plane to London to meet with the producers face to face. Now, I didn't get the role, but you do see how preparation and paying attention to detail can open doors. So, if, as we've said, an audition is essentially to decide who best fits the role in question in terms of how they look, sound, and how they relate with the other characters, your job is to convince the panel that you are the one they've been looking for, preferably as soon as you step in the room. Do your homework. If there are any clues to the characterization, incorporate that into your act. Dress the part. Be the character. Go the extra mile and learn your lines by heart. Recognize the rhythm and beats in the scene. Now don't worry, I'll explain what that means further along the line during this course. You need to take advantage of each and every one of them. If it is one scene that you've been given, Ring it for all its emotional worth. If you've been given more than one scene, make sure that at least one of them is polished to perfection and that you're more than proficient in the others. Reason being, you never know which one you'll be called upon to perform. What is your strong suit? What comes easiest for you? What is your best act? Do you find it easier to make people laugh or cry? Whatever that is, find a dramatic piece or a monologue, polish that to perfection, and let that be your fallback plan should all else fail. A monologue is essential. Why? You never know when you'll be called upon to improvise. Now, my advice is that you should have at least one or two that you've polished to perfection. Reason being, you never know when you'll be called upon randomly by a producer or director who has been sitting there all day, bored and tired of seeing the same tepid performances over and over again. Now, rather than see this as a challenge set up to trip you, look upon it as your opportunity to shine. However, as an actor, you must remain flexible enough in mind and body to adapt to sudden, unexpected changes because, quite frankly, many of the scenarios you will be required to act in may not be of your choosing. What a lot of actors don't realize is that beyond the way you look and sound, producers are on the lookout for someone who is dynamic, quick-witted, fast-thinking, and not easily thrown off by any sudden, unexpected change in the dramatic narration. Read carefully over and over again any written material given to you in relation to the audition, be it audition sides or a character Bible. If there is anything you do not understand or are not clear about, research. Ask Google or someone knowledgeable in the field. For example, if you are auditioning for the role of a doctor, you may want to Google the proper way to hold or place a stethoscope, or you can watch a medical drama to familiarize yourself with how doctors conduct themselves. Walk into the audition room with confidence, head held high, shoulders thrown back, and take long, confident strides. The butterflies in your stomach, it's adrenaline. Put it to good use and channel it properly. Look at each panel member directly in the eye for a brief moment and say a general good morning or whatever the appropriate greeting is. Your manner should be warm, open, and hint that you're there for business. Answer all questions confidently and in an even tone. If there's anything you missed, politely ask that it be repeated. If you do not understand the direction, simply admit to it. I'm yet to meet someone who knows everything, and ask to have it broken down in a way that is clear to you. If you have rehearsed with a prop, politely ask if you can incorporate it into your audition. If you had rehearsed your piece sitting down and upon getting there they ask you to stand, politely ask if it would be okay to do it sitting down. The point I'm trying to make is that it is your audition. Do it in a way that is most comfortable for you within the parameters provided. Go the extra mile and commit your lines to memory so you can perform without the script. Never assume that you will be allowed to read from your script during an audition. If it's given to you as you arrive, that's different. And even then, use the waiting time before you're called in to commit as much of it to memory as you can. Besides, it says something very positive about your level of preparation and can only score you extra points. If the audition is for TV or film, there will most likely be a camera in the room recording your audition. Minutes before your audition, you should be centering, focusing all your attention on a mental play-by-play book, playing out the scene in your mind's eye, a scene that you should have practiced so well, you know the exact line where you're going to tilt your head, just so, or perhaps pause for emphasis. Remember, it is a competition, period. My advice is that you spend the minutes before going into an audition room centering yourself and focusing on the task at hand. I am by no means advocating that you be antisocial. No, please say your hellos, interact, exchange information. Remember what we said in the beginning? Networking is a huge part of getting ahead in this business or any other for that matter. Once you're done with the pleasantries, find a quiet corner and focus. And please keep your strategy to yourself. If you are paired with someone else or placed in a group, strive very quickly to create some sort of rapport or chemistry so that together you can put up a convincing performance. If you get off to a rocky start, simply pause, take a deep breath, and ask if you can start over again. At the end of your audition, look at them again briefly in the eye and with a warm smile, thank them for having you. Remember, your job is to leave them with a lasting and positive impression. Last but not the least, learn to read a room. Remember in the beginning when I said upon entering the room that you should look briefly into the eye of each panelist? It wasn't for pleasantries only. Are they looking bored and irritated? It could be that they have been besieged with terrible performances. That should tell you to put your best foot forward. Know this. Your desire for the role will be evident in the amount of preparation that you put in, and it will show. And a final caveat, ladies, unless the script expressly demands it, leave your provocative clothes at home. Trust me, you will be misunderstood, especially if you end up giving a lackluster performance. And on a final note, if you make a mistake, do not crumble and give up. Just pick yourself up, catch your breath, and keep going.